All right, welcome here into another episode of the News4JAGs podcast. Jamal St here alongside Justin Barney. Justin, another training camp practice in the books as they kind of start counting down the joint practices. This kind of feels like almost a formality.
Yeah, and tomorrow too, I think Tuesday will be similar to what we saw today as they kind of approach the Bucs joint practices, which will probably feel more like a game. So a lot of these players, you work on a lot of situational stuff. The ones on the ones are longer than you would see that in a preseason game. So I think these joint practices, they're kind of scaling down in a sense these next 2 days to get to that Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, I'd say it was the calm before the storm, but the storm kind of rolled in and cleared fans out and moved us inside to finish out practice. But it is sort of that. I think a lot of people are excited for these joint practices. I think the players included, excited to be out there and competing against Tampa Bay Wednesday and Thursday. So these Monday and Tuesdays more, let's clean up things. Let's make sure you know the plays. They're walkthroughs.
Yep.
They're glorified walkthroughs before everything kind of cranks up.
Yeah, and the last day for fans, unfortunately, there's no availability tomorrow for fans, and the Wednesday and Thursday joints with the Bucs are already sold out. So fans didn't get autographs today. So a little bit of a bummer for fans not to be able to realize the last MEC practice. But joint practices don't happen here too often at all. So it's very cool to see the Bucs coming here. Jags are usually on the road for joint practice.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been here before, but it's been a while. I know it's been before I got here. I mean, our guy Kevin Talley, who had been here from the beginning, said there was one, but he doesn't remember when. I've been talking to people out here, like we're not sure the last time.
It's been a while.
Joint practice, but I know it's been a while. So they're coming here. Today, I don't know that this is going to be the longest of podcasts just because there wasn't a whole lot of ground to cover. Play of the day, my opinion, was Darnell Savage interception. It was a Trevor Lawrence throw to Tank Bigsby. We've seen this movie before, goes off Tank's hands. Darnell's there, kind of bobbles it and comes down with the interception. He'd be heading the other direction. This was red zone 7-on-7, or maybe 11-on-11, one way or another. Trevor Lawrence, Tank Bigsby, Darnell Savage ends up with the ball. Not ideal for the Tank Bigsby stands out there, but it was a nice play from Darnell Savage.
Play day for me was the code blue when they pushed everybody inside. I could see that on Mac Jones' face. They looked very drained after practice, very, very hot at 12 o'clock practice. It was cooking out there. So just, again, it's not like traditional 11-on-11 hard-hitting practices like we've seen the last week and a half. It was more of that scaled-down feel. Coming off that Chiefs game, I think it was good to see that. We've talked about ad nauseum about the guys we wanted to see the things from. Did not have a drop-off when you went to Unit 2. Did not have a drop-off when you went to Unit 3. And that has been such an issue for the Jaguars over the years to maintain that. And we did not see that the other night, the drop-off. So that was good.
You talked to Mac Jones, who echoed some of the other things. I talked to Buster Brown. Buster had a pretty good night. He's a guy who's been on the roster for a couple of years now, said he loves playing man-to-man coverage in Ryan Nielsen's defense and what they're putting out there. Felt like he played pretty well in the preseason and said he's looking forward to those joint practices. Like I think a lot of the guys are. So
yep, and Buster made, remember, a good play against your hometown Saints last year in primetime. Very good
Buster
play.
Came up clutch when they needed him to, and now he's going to have to hold off a little bit of competition to make sure he gets a roster spot.
And it's the young players we've talked about draft and develop. See those later round guys get there. Buster Brown is that guy. Christian Braswell is that guy. Jarian Jones, a newer guy, third-round pick. So seeing these not blue-chip draft picks, the first and second-round guys develop and ascend, it's good. Devon Hamilton, another guy who was kind of the depth piece when he was drafted and has progressed. So there are some good stories. Will Monteric or Buster be the next good success story of those third-round guys?
Look, we'll see. He's definitely got an opportunity to continue to make a contribution on this team. He did last year when injuries called his number, and he played pretty well overall. A little bit of a different scheme here, so we'll see how he fares overall in this. Again, those joint practices start Wednesday, Thursday. Going to be a lot of action rolling out the rest of the week. I think we'll do this today and we'll do it tomorrow. Pick one guy that you want to see during joint practices or one thing that you want to watch closely. Today, let's do offense. Offense, one guy or one thing you're watching closely during joint practices.
I want to see just continued better blocking, and we haven't seen that offensive line full strength. Saw Mitch Morse a little bit. I thought he was nice, add the element, the veteran element. But I want to see that offensive line. There were so many moving parts last year. They've been banged up this year with Anton and Cam having a shoulder, the concussion for Ant. How do those guys continue to gel? I mean, are those injuries something that's going to carry over? So I want to see Trevor Lawrence being protected no matter who is in there. So it's nice to say skill position guys, but I think those first three guys, receivers, are good. I want to see the offensive line and how they've developed.
Same vein, I just want to see the run blocking. I want to see how Mitch gets involved in that. The running game with that first unit on Saturday wasn't great.
Yeah, cold.
So I'd like to see if they can get some movement up front and open up some running game lanes for Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby. So that's what I'll be keeping an eye on for the offense. We'll talk defense and things to watch in joint practices tomorrow. On the News4JAGs podcast. We'll have another one of these coming out after practice tomorrow, and then also after practice on Wednesday and Thursday. Those should be much more fun shows, a lot more to talk about. We'll also have plenty of coverage over on News4JAGs.com from all these training camp practices. Hopefully you've been checking that daily at this point, and we'll see you next time.